What is going on? Welcome to episode 99 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2, Eric. What's up, man?
How's it going, Josh?
It's going.
And what was that?
It's going. It's going good.
It's going good?
Yeah. I shouldn't have answered you.
Yeah, it's rhetorical, right?
It is, sorry.
But that's not the question that matters.
What matters?
The thing that matters is, what up, NPC fam? It is your boy, Hate Zero, your hero.
Oh my gosh. That music you just heard is from On Being Human. Check them out on Spotify and YouTube. Remember, we are an unofficial Nintendo podcast. You want to get yourself a free book from Audible? Go to audibletrial.com/NPC. There, pick up Console Wars. It's so good. I just finished it today. Oh, it's such a great book. It's so good. audibletrial.com/NPC. The chair I'm sitting in, guys, from OP Seat. Go to opseat.com right now. Well, actually, it's a new month, so I'm not sure. There was a summer sale going on. It could still be going on. If it's still going on, every chair is $50 off, plus my coupon code N64Josh, another $10. You're just going to have to go check opseat.com. That's all the ads for tonight. Let's get to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
We do the show live, twitch.tv/N64Josh, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Times, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We try to get as close to on time as possible. You know, we usually start up, do a little pre-show, and then we get rocking and rolling. So I want to say hello to everybody that's here with us live. The Nintendame, Shellshock Prime, Pudding, Yickum, Kirby Geek, Nightcrawler, Joel Mead, Drummer, Snake Eyes. I'm scrolling up. The Fighting King, Inky Squid. I think I saw Cut Eye early on. There we go. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, forgive me. But thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. I'm still working on a book. It's still happening. Another Castle coming soon. On my Twitter right now, I have another giveaway. It's a $20 Amazon card. It's pinned to my Twitter. Go check it out at N64Josh. Smash Bros. Casts happening Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time live on Twitch. Mario Kart Mondays is turned into gamers in carts getting interviewed. Kirby Geek was the first one. If you missed it live, don't worry. It's on my YouTube channel. You can go and watch it. It was an hour-long interview. I laughed pretty hard. There was some it's pretty good stuff. Listening to her talk about Duck Hunt is pretty good. So check that out. Saturday morning Splatoons, still rocking and rolling that. Although this week it was Mario Tennis because, you know, tennis. And First Look Fridays this week at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, twitch.tv/N64Josh. Sushi Striker is going to be later in the day because I've got to pick up the physical copy. But we're going to do West of Loathing and One Strike. And that's it as of now. But who knows? We might see something else. So that's First Look Fridays. Hey, what have you been playing, my man? Give us some reviews, impressions of current games.
Well, I'm going to circle back if we have time. First, I am also an avid Audibler on my morning commute. I have listened to a ton of books, many that Josh has recommended. Right now I'm listening to Pet Sematary, which I don't know if I recommend to you. It's been really bumming out my commute, but it's a good book. Stephen King. So definitely take him up on that because the first book's free. Even if you decide you don't like it, it's pretty awesome. Tons of content on there. Second, I listened to a good chunk of the Kirby Geek gamers in carts getting interviewed. Don't miss it. It's pretty awesome. So it was only supposed to be 15 minutes to half an hour, and they blew that out of the water.
Oh yeah. So. It was 1 hour and 10 seconds exactly. So
amazing. Other than that, Nintendo wise, I've been playing some Shapes and Beats, just Shapes and Beats. I played some Mario Tennis Aces over the weekend. and I was just trying to get Shaq Fu going, but the initial load takes like 16 minutes. So
I cannot believe there's a physical copy of that game.
Yeah, and it's twice as much money, and you have to get it, don't you?
Well, I'm behind.
This is where you draw the line. You're like, I'm done. I'm not collecting all physical copies anymore.
I started to catch up, but then every Tuesday they hit me with more games. It's just
this one's a retail. It's not like a limited run, or you can get it at Target.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. You know what? I'm like, why don't I? That game's gonna go on sale. I guarantee it.
Time.
So
yeah.
I'm gonna start playing this game a little differently. So that's all. We're gonna keep trying, but you know.
There you go.
There you go. And Kirby Geeks harassing me saying I got to get Super Mario 64 because I don't currently have that game. So
what?
They found that out last night and yelled at me for it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So give me the lowdown, shapes and beats. You love it? You hate it? Is it a shell, a no shell, a blue shell?
Man. So I haven't played enough to. I can give you what my impression of it is currently. I think the game is not going to be incredibly long. There is challenge mode and multiplayer, which I'm excited to get into. But for the single player story mode, there is a story. There's boss battles. But one thing that's refreshing is they don't reuse any sections of the game. It's all not drawn, but it's all animated to the music. So the music and the game are all unique through the entire single player. The controls are pretty good. It's one of those games where you fly around, you don't attack, you just avoid. So if that doesn't interest you, but me personally, I think it's a red shell. The music's been fun. It's incredibly challenging, frustrating at times, but not punishing just to be punishing.
I see. And then what'd you think of Mario Tennis?
I'm going to try to be objective.
I'll give you a heads up. Our talking point later is all about matchmaking. So you don't have to get too deep into that right now.
I'll try to be objective. So it's hard to judge. So I think that demo was a nice addition. I think it was extremely lacking. I wanted to test out the motion control. It wasn't in the demo. It would have been nice to be able to play any type of 1v1 like couch co-op. I understand why they didn't do it, but that would have been a nice thing to have. So from a demo standpoint, there were some things that I thought were lacking, but very minimally. I mean, that game is already a blue shell. There's no question. I'm trying to just give you the dirt on it if you didn't get a chance to play it, but the game's going to be amazing. I have no doubts now after playing it. The gameplay is perfect. The graphics and animations are top notch. It's the best tennis game to be made to this day.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. I think the biggest thing to remember, like you said, is this was a beta. This wasn't even a demo. This was a beta that they called an online tournament, and they were seeing how their servers held up. I know that these servers were taking a beating because we were getting the same messages we get in Mario Kart when there's too many people trying to get into a single server where it says you cannot connect to other consoles. And we were seeing that message pop up. Lag was definitely an issue. I'm even seeing in chat, some people were so frustrated by it that it's hindering their purchase. But I would say this game is a complete package. From online to couch to getting up and playing with motion controls to having a story mode. Like, I will never, as much as I praise this game and say and say I really, really liked it, like I know what I'm getting from this game. Right? But I will always encourage people to don't base complete decisions off of a beta or a demo, especially a beta.
A stress test, basically. Yeah, I mean,
hopefully what they were doing is going to give them the data that they need. And I have a big write-up about this on n64josh.com if you guys want to check it out. But they needed this. And this is great. Nintendo did this with ARMS. They did it with Splatoon. And they did it even better with Mario Tennis because it didn't only happen in 1 hour increments at odd times during the day. We could just play it all weekend long, so most definitely the lag was infuriating, like so frustrating, because it was not just like, oh, the other your characters kind of, like moving to different places, whatever. It was like there was complete latency between your controller and what was happening on the screen. And it got to be to the point where it would just come to a serving match, and then eventually go to tiebreaker, and whoever had the better serves won. That's what it boiled down to. So that was most definitely frustrating. But when the game was when it wasn't lying to you and you had 4 to 5 bars, it was really, really good. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. I have, if you want some footage of it, if you want, I wrote up a little guide for it. There's a bunch of stuff on n64josh.com and my YouTube channel. I'm stoked. I'm absolutely stoked.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. I thought it's funny because I played the Japanese version, I guess, because you could download it off the Japan eShop. I didn't experience any of the lag issues, and that was connecting peer-to-peer with players in Japan. Obviously, not all of them were in Japan because anyone can do what we did and download it. But I didn't experience hardly any of the lag, especially not the lag I experienced in the North American, where there was like a 2-second delay. Mm-hmm. Like that was the worst one I had, where there was like a legitimate 2-second delay. So that was bizarre to me. But we'll talk about it. Anyone who's worrying that this game is not going to be top notch, this is not, like, just from this beta, I can pretty much assure you this is going to be the best tennis game ever made. Not the best Mario Tennis game, the best tennis game ever made. If that interests you at all, it's a day one purchase.
Well, and here's the thing with this game. There is a skill gap in this game. There's no doubt that is there. There is definitely a skill gap. And I can see this game being very competitive, and it's like a chess match, but the online has got to get there. And I am fairly certain that Nintendo is going to support this thing and work on this thing and get it to where it needs to be. It may be at launch that there's still some issues. Look at other games. Look at, everybody talks about Microsoft being like having the best with Xbox Live and that kind of stuff. The Master Chief Collection still doesn't work that well to this day, and they're still working on it. You know, so I believe that Nintendo is. This isn't just going to be a game that they just put it out there. Like Mario Kart, I think, has had one update. I believe tennis is going to be looked at. I think characters are going to get looked at if they need to be nerfed, if some are overpowered, that kind of stuff. And we're going to find out very quickly. The community will flock towards certain characters. I'm looking at you, Rosalina, like the curve on her on her slice, like that thing was gnarly. It was, but you can counter it by just moving up into the court a little bit and stuff. So,
and that's where I think I'm hoping the final release kind of changes. So one thing that I like about NBA 2K, for example, if you're picking the Warriors, I'm going to pick the Cavs, something where, and then I'm just going to score 84 points with LeBron James. So I want to be able to see what character you're picking so I can counter it with a character that's a good counter to your character, if that makes sense. So for Rosalina, she's not incredible. She's not hitting powerful, fast shots, right? They curve a lot, but someone like Yoshi should be able to combat her fairly well. Stuff like that. And so maybe in the final release, when I say, Josh, let's play, it'll allow us to see what each other are playing and kind of create a more balance in that regard as well. Otherwise, the classes don't mean as much going into online. If that makes sense. I mean, they still mean something. They're still important, but it's nice to have the classes so you can. It's a game of chess. Correct.
And like I said, we will know real quick because everybody will flock to that one character that's too OP. If it is the tricky class or whatever that Rosalina's in, that's going to be what's played the most. It also depends on who is playing that character, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
I saw some people with Rosalina that were just like, I was like, what? Their serves are amazing. And then other people that just, they were no problem at all. So it's just that skill gap thing. So I think there's going to be a ton to do in this game. I've played 16 hours about over the 3 days. Wow. And like, cannot wait to jump back in and play more. Like it was so good. So good. So there we go. Well, we'll be talking more about that in the next couple weeks here. We got some news to get to. You ready? You ready? I'm ready. All right. Well, we got all kinds of leaks for E3. All this stuff. People just posting random pictures of things showing up at their warehouse. Like, you're going to get fired. What are you doing? GameStop employee takes a picture of his computer screen, leaks 10 full price listings for Nintendo Switch. Doesn't say what the games are,
right?
But there's 10 full price listings. And again, all leaks we consider rumors, right? So we're just talking about it because it's what's the hot topic right now. Could be real, could be fake, so grain of salt.
Can I address that one?
Yeah, jump in.
I think it's obviously going to be real. It's not shocking to me that before E3, we're going to see at least 10 games between all the different, manufacturers, vendors, producers, whatever you want to call them. 10 games is not shocking to me at all. So, yeah, I think so. I think big time. Big time. Slapping the base big time.
10 games is a lot. They also showed PS4 and Xbox games. They each had 3 SKUs.
That one is a little bizarre because I believe they're going to get more than 3 games as well. But we keep hearing this is supposed to be a huge year for Nintendo, right? So I'm not surprised. Not surprised.
Here's what was interesting is I started digging around a little bit because, we were discussing in the Discord and we're like, well, maybe this is the world, it has the world ends with you. Nope. That already has a SKU, at least on Amazon. I wasn't on GameStop. I was just kind of doing some research on Amazon. And then we were talking about, I don't know, there were some other games that have just been, Yoshi, right? We don't have a date for Yoshi, but you can already pre-order it. So that means it's in the system already. So these are 10 games that aren't in the system yet.
Right. Well, with GameStop, this is just for them to allow pre-orders. So if a company says we're working on a Switch game, that's enough sometimes for GameStop to put working title EA Sports game. Like they've done stuff like that before when we previously had worked at GameStop. Because they're all about taking your reservation. So it's not and Drummer says, trust me, the GameStop pick is fake. I don't care about it being real or fake. That doesn't matter to me. The fact that there's 10 games coming is the part that I think is not shocking at all. The GameStop piece doesn't matter. You could have said GameStop, Walmart, Kmart, Fred Meyer. I don't care. Doesn't matter.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Well, another leak we got. This was from a warehouse. This was a Reddit post.
Yeah, I saw this.
Is pictures of so this is what's funny. I wrote an article about this as soon as I saw it. Right, officially licensed GameCube controllers pictures surface, and then I put rumor, right? So Captain Logan tweeted at me. He's like, so is it official or is it a rumor? I'm like, no, it's officially licensed. Like this has the Nintendo quality seal on it or whatever. Again, any of these leaks until there's an official announcement, I always just take it as a rumor, you know?
Yeah.
So, but here's what's interesting. Bigger Z buttons. There's two of them, basically bumpers, and a bigger D-pad. So it's not exactly like a GameCube controller. I'm pretty sure the Power A is the name of the company. And I'm pretty sure I actually have some of their controllers. They kind of, they tend to feel a little more cheap and not all that great. So, fingers crossed if this is true, that we are still going to get, and it was a wired controller that plugged in USB. So fingers crossed, at very least, we still get a GameCube controller that plugs in to some, in some form, like actual GameCube controller, but we'll see. I don't know. What'd you think?
I'm excited for the idea. I don't want a Power A controller. It just makes me want Nintendo to make one even more. So the Power A controllers, I think they are unofficially licensed, but if you notice, like their version of the Pro controller is slightly tweaked. I believe they're not allowed to use the exact formula. They can't use the secret sauce. So their stuff is close, but not quite. Even I think they make a Joy-Con grip, and it's even slightly off. Like it falls short on the back end for whatever reason. And yeah, I held one of their Pro controllers, and it's slightly lighter. The plastic feels cheaper. I suspect, do those have HD Rumble? I suspect they wouldn't, and they don't probably have the NFC.
From my understanding, it's the same control. Like it's the company that does all of the Walmart exclusive ones where you can get Bowser, all the different characters. And I could be wrong. I know there's no NFC, and I don't think there's HD Rumble. I mean, they're like $29.99. They're a relatively inexpensive controller.
Right. I do want a GameCube controller. Someone on Reddit or in Discord or on the street said they want a official GameCube Pro controller, and I'd be all for that. I mean, I'd buy that immediately. I love that controller. It's the best.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. So looking at the chat, Drummer is saying that he has worked at GameStop 3 years and he has never seen a screen that looks like that. So again, we just take everything with a grain of salt. Dataminer found Fortnite in the Switch eShop.
Yeah, I saw that too.
It gets rated by the Korean rating board. It shows up on this, basically like this kiosk display for E3, and now it's been data mined.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably going to be the and download it now, right? Like that's what we keep saying.
Again, I hate to continuously be the negative one, but this is not news, everybody. It's on your iPhone. The game is definitely coming to the Switch. You heard it here first, or last, or all the time.
Or
it's
again,
not news.
You heard it here again.
You heard it here again. This is not news. Move along. We know Fortnite's coming. The question is, when is it coming? I've suspected, I think you've suspected, Nightcrawler was on here, he's suspected. I'm sure Run Jump Stomp's suspected. And name a human being, they've all suspected, and it's available now. So that's still what I'm holding out for. So there you go.
The one question that was posed in Discord that I saw, that I think it was Rhino, was like, man, I really hope it has motion controls.
Oh, okay, good. That wasn't I saw something else that upset me.
Oh, that upset you? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of motion controls, though?
Like Doom has?
Like Doom and Splatoon.
I'm terrible with them, but I hear they're really great. I have no issue with them being included. I can always turn them off if I don't like it, but I never got used to using it, so it's not something I'm super happy for, but I'm sure. I mean, anything that gets more people interested in playing a game, I think is a good thing.
Well, and I wonder how much crossplay there's going to be, with PC and Xbox and mobile and that kind of stuff. Like, it may give Switch users a small advantage from, just from being able to aim that way and not having access to like paddles and stuff, or, the mouse and keyboard, of course, is going to be,
I'm guessing the Switch version would be cross-platform. Obviously, we have no idea, but if the phone version's cross-platform, why wouldn't the Switch version be?
Oh yeah, I mean, Rocket League you can play with Xbox people right now. So I mean, it's.
I think the only person or the only platform that's against any of this is PS4. PS4 is the only one who won't play ball with everybody.
Yeah, they just
is my understanding.
Nice. They don't want to play nice. So yeah. So do you want to bring up what upset you in the Discord about this game?
Just the typical Waluigi stuff. That's all. Nothing good. I'm all for it. I think the game would be great on the Switch. I didn't play much on the Xbox, but I would play it on the Switch just because it lacks any other competitor, and I want some sort of shooter like that. So yeah, I would definitely play it on the Switch.
Yeah, I would. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. It just takes it does have a little bit of a learning curve with the building, but
yeah. But you could run around and not build. You won't be as competent as everyone else, but you can go hide in a bush or something.
That's true. That's true. Be a bush Wookie. Pocket Rumble. Do you remember this game?
Yeah. Wasn't this a launch title? Not quite.
I think it was.
But yes.
Wasn't it in the same Nindy showcase as Floor Kids? The very first time we saw Floor Kids, I think we saw Pocket Rumble, and it may even before that. I think we saw an extended clip for Pocket Rumble in that. I'm
pretty sure
showcase.
Pocket Rumble got announced with Steep, and Steep's the only one who made it out of the graveyard. Or I'm sorry, Pocket Rumble. Steep is still somewhere lost in there.
Steep's still there. So they didn't give an exact date. They just said before the end of July. So
hey, that's soonish.
Yeah, but
they said it was gold, right? Or it was done.
They are putting out quite a bit of information on their Kickstarter. There's even been a dev video that went out recently. So if you want more information on that, or if you were a backer on Kickstarter and you want, go check your Kickstarter app so you can see what's going on there. But it looks like a fun little fighter. Like I'm excited to try it. So this is kind of cool. This is something that I need to make sure that I do. I'm going to ask everybody that's in the chat right now, if you're in the Discord, remind me to do this. Remind each other, because I think this is going to be something that might just kind of we could easily forget about it. But the Splatoon 2 World Championship t-shirts are available to attendees of the championship, the event. But then it's also available for those. All it says is to follow the news channel on the Switch, and there'll be more information on e3.nintendo.com. So
hey, can I pause you? Can we talk about the news channel on the Switch?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mine won't leave Japanese now. So I went into the Japanese eShop to download Mario Tennis. I've returned back to the North American. My news is forever in Japanese, and I don't know how to fix it. So if anyone has an idea on how to fix it, or if you know, Josh, someone tweet at me, because not that I really use that. It's even less useful in Japanese.
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday too, and I switched mine, and I don't know if it actually stuck or not.
Okay. So you're in the same boat.
I think so.
That's neat.
It did restart. It said I needed to restart the system when I did it. So I'm like, okay.
I did that. I rebooted my. Remember, I learned how to reboot my system. Yeah.
Just learn Japanese. That's what Chad says.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest solution.
Anyway, there is a special, an exclusive T-shirt that's tied. It says Splatoon 2 World Championships. From everything I can tell, this is something that you get to keep. It's not like a Splatfest tee. So you want to make sure that you go to that news channel, basically follow the Splatoon 2 news channel. I don't have a lot more information other than that right now. And remember, on the 9th, we're supposed to get some more Splatoon news. That's also coming. There's supposed to be some it's going to shake up the Splatoon world. I'm not really sure what that means, but we'll find out on the 9th. So Nintendo's online service was listed by Amazon in the UK with a release date of September 30th and a price tag that came up £2 higher than the suggested retail price. That's later than that. Didn't we have an earlier date? I thought there was like a September 22nd date or something, but I went back onto their website to look and I didn't see it. It just said September again.
I think, the 30th, it's the last day of the month, so it kind of feels like a placeholder. What day is that? Do you know? Is that a Friday?
Off the top of my head, I don't even have my phone near me, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not convinced that isn't a placeholder. But even I like you're saying, I don't think they ever said an official date. I think there was a lot of speculation, but
for some reason I remember like the 21st or 22nd or something, but I don't know why that number is in my head. So
I definitely don't remember a date because I've been saying it's going to come out the same day Smash comes out, and I don't know what that is. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Pudding said to wait for your cloud save and then wipe your Switch and reinstall.
Yeah, so someone, I think Pudding or Cut Eye, said they had to delete their Japanese account. I didn't have a Japanese account. I just changed the location on my normal account because I didn't have any money in there. So I moved my account to Japan, downloaded it, then moved it back. So I can't delete my account. I need it.
And you only have just the one account is all you have?
Yeah, it was faster for me to do that than create another account.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense. I probably need to go back and check my Japanese account and set it to the other region. That might be what fixes it. Who knows? We'll see. So, so interesting that it was I mean, look, this could be some other retailer saying that because not everything is fulfilled by Amazon. So, yeah. I mean, you can go buy Xbox Live right now from on Amazon, but it's provided by somebody else, if it's not the digital code, if it's actual like little card or whatever. So, and I know this was real. I had a few people say, hey, I picked mine up. I bought it, they bought it from the Amazon store. So, yeah. So for our talking point, let's get into this. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. You ready? All right. One of the topics that you were bringing up in Discord, and I saw a lot of other people jump on, is matchmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. And matchmaking for, in particular for Mario Tennis Aces. So I'm going to let you kick this off because I have a feeling we're going to kind of be on, I don't know if we're going to necessarily be on opposite sides of the fence, but I feel like I've been on both sides of this fence, and I'm not even entirely sure where I stand on it. So I'm going to let you start it off.
So there's two things that needs to happen. The first, they need to prioritize by location, connection, speed, all that stuff, right? The secondary thing that needs to happen is some sort of skill based, and that's hard to measure because a win doesn't necessarily translate to better skill, but some sort of skill based system like the old school ELO in the Rainbow games, and something that gives you a score. Maybe they take your amount of your wins times your star hits times your aces times blah blah blah, right? And give you a number or a grade or whatever you want to call it, and then you get grouped in people in a competitive range to you. Because what I don't want to see, and my fear is, if you go and join a random match or you join a random tournament, you picked up the game yesterday for little Billy, And Billy gets the game. He's so excited. He says, "Thanks, Daddy. You're the best." And he gets in there and he plays and just gets destroyed. He's like, "Well, that's not fun." So little Billy goes and does it again and just gets destroyed. That's what I think they need to go to, because what's going to happen is you're going to discourage the casual gamers. And this game is a game that the hardcore can enjoy, the casual can enjoy. I think it's a game for everybody.
So skill-based matchmaking I mean, everybody, you're going to find somebody that will complain about anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I, for the longest time, played Destiny, right? And everybody would complain about skill-based matchmaking. Look at the chat right now, even talking about it. Because ultimately, I think what people's complaint is with skill-based matchmaking is it never gives them the opportunity to play against somebody that they can absolutely stomp. And that's what's fun, right? Getting that ability to just really dominate.
Well,
but if you're on the receiving end of that, it's not very fun, right? So, for instance, in Halo 5, you could go into ranked and you would play against people that were pretty much the same skill level as you, right? I mean, if you're with your friends, some might be higher, some might be lower. The other team might be the same thing. But for the most part, everybody is pretty much going to be somewhat close. Well,
So Halo has like not this exactly, but like a 2 up, 2 down. So you're going to play somebody slightly better than you. You're going to get matched up with someone slightly worse than you, plus or minus 2. That's just an arbitrary number. But yes, what you're saying. So you can still dominate somebody and still get challenged at the same time.
Yeah. And then they have an unranked mode that literally is more based on your location or region. And dude, I remember some people are like, "Hey, let's do unranked. I don't want it to be super sweaty or whatever." Right. And we would go in there and just completely get stomped because there's people just doing pub stomps. They're like, "Hey, this is, and that's so like, that wasn't super fun." And then we would, there'd be times that we would be doing the same thing, and it's not fun being on the receiving end of that either. So
yeah,
I think if there is, there's
one
ranked,
thing, can I interject really quick?
Yeah.
Everything you've talked about is the biggest challenge with all of that. And Van mentioned Destiny as an example, or Bungie. The biggest difference is all of those you can bring friends. And the problem with those and what breaks it so poorly is you and I team up. We are various skill levels that completely breaks the system, right? Mm-hmm. So for a 1v1, it should be very easy to get this right. When you do doubles, you are going into it and you have to understand, if I'm playing doubles and N64 Josh is a level 56 and Hate Zero is a level 12, well, he's either going to carry me or we're going to stomp on people because we've broken the curve.
Yeah, or get stomped because there's going to be 2 people at the same level as the highest person in your team. Now, Nightcrawler's bringing up like a Splatoon style would be good ranked and general play. For doubles, you and I could get a rating together, right? Like if you and I play enough X amount, we play 10 games, they give us a skill rating.
Okay.
And then we play other teams. But if I play with Crawler or I play with G.I. Jello or you play with Van or whoever, it could. But I mean, this is I don't see that happening. The way it works in Splatoon, you play 7 games with that team. As long as the 4 of you stay together in league, you are then given a power rating, and then you play other teams that are plus or minus from that number.
Yeah, my biggest thing is not so much for the doubles. Like I said, when you're going into the doubles, you kind of know you're breaking it, and you should be willing to accept that. Mine's mainly for the single players, because it should be easy to achieve for the single player. And in this beta, it was not the case. I was getting matched up with people far superior to me in skill and in time played. And I was getting, people far behind me in skill and time played. So it's tough because once you hit that second level of the tournament, all bets are off anyways. So, because, if you're doing a tournament now, I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard one to do, but they need to figure it out. You know what? I don't work at Nintendo. Nintendo, figure it out. This is not my problem to figure out for you. Unless you're going to pay me, I'm not even talking about this anymore.
Oh, good. Makes for a great podcast. Well, and G.I. Jello brings up the ARM system, says it wasn't horrible. I'm not entirely sure what the ARM system was as far as for ranked. I don't remember. Not even sure if I played ranked. But I think Mario Tennis could be fun with the whole party system too, where like everybody jumps in and just randomly matches you guys together. Like as far as like
what'd you call that?
A party system.
Oh, we don't. This is Nintendo, bro.
Not voice chat. Just somehow we invite people to the. I don't know. Just let me have this. ARMS has this. Everybody just joins. Just join, people.
ARMS is pretty cool. I hope Tennis has something like that, so you can host a room, say, "Hey, Discord, jump in," and we accomplish it. Yeah, ARMS nailed it. You're correct about that.
Call it a private. Well, it wasn't even in ARMS. It's just a party room. It's not even a private match. Like literally, if I just jump into a party room, then other people can join on me and their friends can join on. Like you can just, and so something with, even if the tournament was like this, where you could have winners, losers brackets, like we don't know. We don't know what they're going to offer, but I hope that there are a handful of options when it comes to matchmaking with tennis. I hope we see a ranked and a non-ranked, so that, you can go in and know that you're going to be really competing, or you're just going to play against whoever hopefully has a better connection to you, and with the chance of getting completely crushed or completely crushing or finding somebody of similar skill level. Like, I don't know. And we don't, maybe that was part of this test. Maybe they were testing some skill-based stuff and things like that with this test to see, I don't. The thing is, like, some people are like, well, I saw somebody with 60,000 points. Well, they were just probably winning and winning and winning. You get 400 points every time you win that tournament. I won one. I got there a number of times, but I won one. Did you win any?
Nope. I made it to the third round.
Okay.
That was it. That was as far as I got. So, I actually, like I said, I fared better on the Japanese, which is when I made it to the third round. On the North American, I mainly played Saturday, and I think with it coming out so late on Friday night that Saturday was just getting crushed. So outside of the matchmaking, they need to fix their net code. I've heard people say, like, we need dedicated servers. Dedicated servers won't fix the problem. And you're going to argue, like, what? But you always say we need dedicated servers. Here's just hold on. So here's my thought behind this. If you have a bad internet connection and I have a good internet connection, it doesn't matter if there's a server in between us or not. It's not going to change. You're still going to be laggy and we're still going to have a problem. So,
at Halo 5 dedicated servers.
Yeah.
I was playing with the Bungie community manager and he's like, "Oh, look at dedicated server." We were lagging pretty bad, and he was throwing shade at the dedicated servers. So,
dedicated servers serve their purpose. They're great in big multiplayer games like that, where a bunch of people are connecting to one point. I get it. But I don't think it's going to make a huge difference in this. What they need to fix is their net code. So this game, rather than just allowing for some lag and having you lose out on 1 point, In this game, it seems like once you start down the path of lag, you will never recover. The game does not ever catch back up. Once you have that 1 to 2 second delay, it never lets that go, or at least in my experience, because I didn't ever quit out of a match. So I played an entire match. Granted, it was very quick because I got aced like every time. But once you start getting the lag, you will never get out of it. So
my experience was a little different. There were times that I would start a match with somebody that had 4 bars. Okay. Mm-hmm. And whoever was serving, we could serve, we could return. It was okay. As soon as we would switch servers or switch court, whatever, the lag would kick in at that point. So I'm wondering, is something happening with host at that point? Like, is there something going on that, then it did a few times, not every time, but a couple times would start to get back to 2 bars and then 3 bars. And then we could actually play, but it was usually too late at that point because somebody had already lost an entire game because there was lag and they couldn't do anything off the serve.
Yeah. Yeah. It almost felt like the game was, like we had a 3-way handshake set up between our switches and you and I are connected, and you are allowed to send packets when you're serving. I am in receive mode, and vice versa is almost how it felt. Because I didn't ever lag when I was serving. Like you're saying, I didn't ever even think about that. But my biggest sections of, and I don't even want to call it lag because it was just a 2-second delay. It wasn't lag. You can deal with lag. You might lose a point, but you can react and come back to it. I would get up to 2-second delays.
Yeah, they were crazy. And I did notice a few times serving that I would hit the button to throw and then I would just hit it again and the ball would go up and then he would hit there was a little bit, yeah. But that was few and far between. Most of the time, I streamed most of the time I played it and I was like, oh, they're lagging right now because I had just had them serve to me and I couldn't even move. There was no reaction time. It was I felt totally dumb on stream too. I was like, guys, I promise you I'm moving my controller. I'm not just standing still. And then I would watch them do it. And it was I don't know. That definitely took some of the fun out of the experience. But again, that's what this is for. Hopefully they're figuring it out. Hopefully they're patching it up and they're going to be able to improve. It was one-on-one. Honestly, I didn't go into this expecting there to be lag.
Yeah, I guess we should have expected it, but I didn't. I figured they've been testing it, but maybe they hadn't. But
the other factor too, and I don't know if I may have been talking about it in Discord. I can't remember at this point, but how many kids or anybody for that matter takes their Switch, they're wireless. They go to the furthest, as far away from their Wi-Fi as they can be with their Switch, and they're playing these games. This is going to be an issue. This is a precision game. Smash Bros is a precision game. Lag has to get cleaned up. It has to.
Well, another way to combat that, and I don't know Nintendo will do it, but to play a ranked match, your connection has to be X. They could do something like that. I don't know that they will, but they definitely could.
Bungie does that. If your connection is too bad, they're like, you can't play matchmaking. they'll kick you out, So,
and that, it's unfortunate for the person whose connection's bad, but that's how you don't spoil it for the bunch. So, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Shell Shock says people should have wired connections, and here I have a wired. I ended up. Look, when I played the Japanese servers, I was wireless. I had no problems. And when I fired up the the American servers, I plugged in because I was like, "This is bad. This is, and the infrastructure of our internet in this country versus Japan, probably not as good. I mean, you know.
Well, and I argue against Shellshock's point, because if Nintendo cared about that, they would put an Ethernet port on your Switch. So,
well, they get to sell you a $30 adapter. I mean,
yeah, but it's clear to me that that was not the focal point for this device. So, and like, I'm pulling down ridiculous speeds on my wireless, so that if you're wanting to play competitive video games, you should have competitive internet. That's the bottom line.
So harsh, man. So harsh.
Well, sorry, if you don't want to get wrecked at video games, get better internet. And if you live in an area that doesn't have good internet, move to South Korea, lock yourself in a room, and do nothing but play your video game.
Eric knows firsthand how well you can do on bad internet.
Not anymore. But yes, back then, yes.
Oh, this is a little tangent, but we played Rainbow Six where I hosted and my internet was bad. Mm-hmm. Everybody kept returning back to the spawn except for me. I was running around like Neo in the Matrix, just shooting everybody's face.
It brought a whole new definition to rubber banding. Like, it was remarkable. So you'd be running. Next thing you know, you're running into a wall. And next thing you know, you're dead. It's like, what just happened? I didn't even see anybody. It
was glorious.
He wasn't allowed to host very much.
No, they never let me host. So I had to plan that connection all the time. So I know. But okay. Hey, here we go. Let's put a bow on this thing. Let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter. You can find me in Discord. I did want to offer out a random thing for people. So I've been doing information security for 10 years now, 10 plus years. A lot of people have asked me about getting into IT and Discord, Twitter, whatever. If you want any advice or think of that career path as an option for you, feel free to reach out to me in either Twitter or Discord. I don't have all the time in the world, but I will lend whatever help I can to you for free. So feel free to take me up on that. At Hate0, Twitter.
All right, guys, you're going to follow me on Twitter at N64Josh. You can follow NPC at NPowercast. The show notes for this episode are going to be found at n64josh.com/NPC99. That's right. This Thursday is episode 100. And I have bad news. Not only is Eric not able to make it, everybody that I've reached out to so far is heading to E3. So fingers crossed we'll get some special guest for the 100th episode. I want to let people know too that on Saturday, last I heard we're doing it live, is going to be a roundtable with Run, Jump, Stomp. So the guys from Nintendo Pulse will be there as well. And I was actually just on the Nintendo Pulse podcast, so if you want to go check that out, I recommend it. We had a good time. I was a last minute fill in because the main co-host couldn't make it, so we had fun though. You are able to email this show npc@n64josh.com. Remember, audibletrial.com/npc. Get yourself a free book. The chair I'm sitting in is from opseat.com. Hey, if you want to wear a Nintendo Powercast t-shirt or any of the other t-shirts I have, go to n64josh.com/store and check them out. We want to invite you to the Discord. We're getting close to 400 people in there, and it's crazy. I checked it today.
It's lit.
Yeah, it's out of control. I was gone for like less than an hour, 135 messages. I was like, what is going on? This place is a party. So come hang out. If you're not familiar with Discord, we'll get you up to speed real quick. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So lastly, if you want to, and the Discord link, n64josh.com/Discord. Just type that in on your whatever web browser you're using. It'll take you right there. Lastly, if you can rate and review on iTunes, greatly appreciate that. We're so close to 5 stars. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.